हितेश भाई, हितेश भाई, हितेश भाई, ma'am, can you hear me?
Ma'am, we can talk in this.
Hello, Pinal. Hello, Pinal. Am I audible? Pinal, but I cannot hear you. Hello. Hello. I cannot hear the host also.
Your voice is not audible to me. Am I audible? हाँ हितेश भाई,
Pinal, am I audible clearly? But I cannot hear you both. But I cannot hear you. I mean, how will I coordinate with the timings? નહીં 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 આપણે કેવી રીતે એકબીજાને કોર્ડિનેટ કરીશું કે ભાઈ તારું ઇન્ટ્રોડક્શન પતી ગયું નાઉ કેમ કે આઈ કાન્ટ હિયર યુ બોથ right now. Can you speak? Can you unmute yourself, please? Are you speaking, Pinal? um, I don't know, but I can't hear you. What should I do? Can that? Huh. Yes.
હિતેશભાઈ, હિતેશભાઈ,
Yeah. Ma'am, I'm going to that જ્યાં અમારા IT engineer બેઠા છે હું ત્યાં જ જતી રહું છું. So we can figure it out what's going on. Give me a moment. અમે લોકો દૂર એટલે બેઠા હતા કે એકો ના આવે.
Am I audible? I think.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Okay, now I can hear you too. Can we just check the screen sharing? Voice is going.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, you are audible.
Yes. Okay. Fine. Now, can we just check the screen sharing?
Yes, ma'am. Sure. You share your screen.
Just a, just a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. Screen is not showing. Ma'am, you are muted. Please unmute yourself.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
Is my screen visible now?
No, ma'am. Your screen is not visible yet. Hitesh bhai, screen.
Okay. Okay. Is it visible? Okay. Is it okay now?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah. Your screen is visible now.
Stop sharing. To share right now or when once you complete the introduction and I will share the screen.
Ma'am, just put the first slide of your presentation so it will show the name and your picture.
Okay. Okay.
પેલું કરી દો ને introduction કરી દો લાઈવ છે આપણે. A very good afternoon to everyone. I'm incredibly grateful to the ma'am, Miss Bidita Shah, who has many expertise in various fields, and today we are enlightened and having to have a informative session from ma'am. Thanks for sharing your knowledge and truly appreciated to give, investing your time and expertise for the benefits of others and our community. Thank you so much, ma'am. I welcome here Ms. Vidita Shah to continue the session.
Thank you so much, Pinal, for the kind words, and I'm really grateful for to UNMETA Institute of Cardiology and Research Center for this pleasant invite. It's really an honor and pleasure for me to present on this. Yes, am I audible clearly? Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
healthy heart through plant-based bioactive compounds. Why this topic? Because we know that to control and reduce the cardiovascular disease risk factors, sometimes it is very difficult even after using the pharmacological medicines, be it statins or antiplatelet agents or ACE inhibitors or other insulin sensitizing agents, so on and so forth. Even progression of atherogenesis cannot be prevented completely. So it is now time that we focus and understand the cardioprotective strategies rather than just treatment part. So I would say that we should focus on preventive strategies for healthy heart. And there are certain plant-based bioactive compounds which are identified for their potential effect on and their cardioprotective roles. As we know, the prevalence of cardiovascular diseases is rising and it is the prime cause of death in all the developed countries. According to the state data, uh, I'm just requesting the technical team that my voice is echoing like anything. Please do something for that. So, according to the one study, 32% of global deaths occur due to the cardiovascular diseases. And it is one of the most important health issues in developing countries like India because as you can see here, in last 15 years, the cases and deaths due to cardiovascular diseases has directly doubled. These are the modifiable and non-modifiable risk factors for heart diseases. They are influenced by genetic predisposition and the other environmental factors. So I think cardiovascular diseases can be prevented by addressing first the behavioral risk factors that can be tobacco use, physical inactivity, obesity, unhealthy diet, and harmful use of alcohol. Those who have established cardiovascular diseases or who have high risk of getting cardiovascular diseases, yes, or those who have high risk getting cardiovascular diseases, like one person who have dyslipidemia or diabetes or hypertension, they should be managed medically and with the counseling part on regular exercises and healthy dietary habits. But for the primary
Ma'am,
prevention, in yes,
ma'am, sorry for interrupting. Please do the slide share, slide view full screen.
from my side it is full screen only, Pinal. Should I stop sharing and reshare again, Pinal? Hide कर दूँ? Is it now full screen?
No, ma'am, it's showing as a slide. It's showing as a PPT. What we show as a software, but you need to do a slideshow.
I have already started slideshow, Pinal.
Yeah, okay.
You just confirm once it is visible clearly, okay?
Okay.
Is it now full screen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Is it? Is it? Done. We can start.
I think please mute other people who have their microphone on because too much humming is coming. I request everyone to please mute yourself. So these are the modifiable and non-modifiable factors. They are influenced by genetic predisposition and other environmental factors. So we can easily address the cardiovascular diseases by preventing the behavioral risk factors. They are tobacco use in any form like smoking or chewing, physical inactivity, obesity, unhealthy diet, and harmful use of alcohol. Those who have established cardiovascular diseases or who are at high risk of having cardiovascular diseases, like the persons who are having diabetes or dyslipidemia or hypertension, they should be addressed by medical treatment and other management counseling points like dietary interventions or exercise. But for the primary prevention in the general population, along with the exercises, dietary modification is the cornerstone of the treatment or prevention part. And that should be initiated from the early childhood because data has suggested that atherogenesis process start from the very early beginning. In healthy diet, there are certain nutrients or components that are identified that can potentially exert the cardioprotective effects. So how this cardioprotective mechanism works through their plant-based bioactive compounds, for that we need to first understand the pathophysiology. 85% of cardiovascular deaths occur due to coronary heart diseases or stroke. And the typical and prime feature in cardiovascular disease is, as you clearly know, that is atherosclerotic plaque formation. So, how this atherosclerotic plaque forms? Once the disease is initiated, the ApoB containing low density lipoprotein. In general language, we are saying that it is a bad cholesterol. It is retained in the subendothelial part of the arteries. Once this LDL is trapped in the subendothelial part, that undergoes lipid peroxidation through the free radicals and the oxidative stresses created. These oxidized low density lipoprotein initiates a low grade inflammatory process, and that in turns initiate the recruitment of endothelial monocytes. Now here there is a fat accumulation in the intima of the artery, so artery already gets narrowed. Then these monocytes migrates and further differentiate in inflammatory macrophages. Now macrophages retain the oxidized low density lipoprotein, and now they are lipid loaded foam cells. These macrophages further release the matrix metalloproteins and cytokines, which amplifies the inflammatory process, and that results in the plaque formation and eventually plaque rupture and thrombosis. And there is one another pathophysiology, that due to the plaque formation or hypertension, there is endothelium dysfunction, and this dysfunctional endothelium loses its capacity to produce the nitric oxide. This nitric oxide is very important for prevention against the platelet aggregation and arterial remodeling. So these are the potential points where our biologically active compounds can work as antioxidants and prevent against the processes in this plaque formation. Like they can work as antioxidants at the point of monocyte differentiating to macrophages. They can prevent the lipid peroxidation of low density lipoproteins. Once the macrophages are formed, they can prevent the ROS or reactive oxygen species formation or other cytokine release. Ultimately, they can prevent, in a way, the atherosclerotic plaque formations, and they can also prevent the health of vascular smooth muscle cells or to maintain the capacity of producing nitric oxide by the endothelial muscular cells. Now, healthy lifestyle is the main and preemptive approach for the prevention of CVD. And as you know, all the dietitians are here. They know that dietetic pattern, the Mediterranean diet seems the most cost-effective approach for the cardiovascular disease prevention that can be combined with prevention and cessation of smoking, promotion of physical activity, and control of hypertension, dyslipidemia, obesity, and diabetes. Why this Mediterranean diet is cardioprotective? Because we know that Mediterranean diet has minimally processed, it has abundant minimally processed plant-based foods. It is very high in monosaturated fats like olive oil, and it is very low in saturated fats. But it is very difficult to attribute the cardioprotective effect of Mediterranean diet to individual components. And we have lot of data. I request the to mute the microphone, please. Please mute your microphone. Okay. So in Mediterranean diet, it is very difficult to attribute the beneficial cardioprotective effect to one component. And we have multiple studies on fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, seafoods for their cardioprotective effects. Now there are large evidences that there are some bioactive compounds in these fruits and vegetables or nuts and seeds or seafood that potentially exerts these cardioprotective effects, and they are our bioactive compounds. So basically, bioactive compounds are extra nutritional constituents that are present in the small quantities in plant products and lipid rich foods. Here there are multiple bioactive compound groups are shown. In fact, more than 800 bioactive compounds have been identified, but today we are look into only those plant-based bioactive compounds which exert cardioprotective or preventive cardiovascular disease roles. So today we are going to focus mainly on carotenoids, polyphenols, and phytosterols. Now, if we look about the carotenoids are usually found in chloroplast in the form of red, yellow, orange pigments. There are different type of carotenoids you have heard about. They are alpha carotene, beta cryptoxanthin, lutein, and zeaxanthin. So alpha carotene is found from carrot, pumpkin, broccoli, spinach, avocado, sweet potato, and they have capacity to lower the risk of cardiovascular diseases. Beta carotene sources are carrot, apricot, mango, red pepper, greens like kale, spinach, broccoli. Beta cryptoxanthin are found in orange, peaches, tangerine, papaya, egg yolk, butter, and apples. And lutein and zeaxanthin are mainly found in kale, spinach, broccoli, and other greens. And they lower the risk of cardiovascular heart disease as well as stroke, and they prevent against the lipid peroxidation. So basically, carotenoids are found in high amounts in fruits and vegetables, especially red, yellow, and green fruits and green vegetables like kale, spinach, broccoli, etc. Carotenoids have antioxidant properties that are beneficial for the health. Carotenoids help in prevention of chronic cardiovascular diseases such as stroke and coronary artery disease. As an antioxidants, they improve superoxide dismutase, glutamate dehydrogenase, catalase, and glucan particles. Here, one term you need to understand that basically antioxidants are of two types. One is endogenous, produced from within, endogenous enzymatic antioxidants. They contain superoxide dismutase, glutamate dehydrogenase, catalase, glucan particles. These are all endogenous or the antioxidant that are produced from our body. And there are other non-enzymatic exogenous antioxidants that can be these plant-based bioactive compounds. Lycopene is also one carotenoid, very popular carotenoid. You know that lycopene, tomatoes is a rich source of lycopene, and lycopene is naturally present and is the pigment responsible for the distinctive red color of tomatoes, watermelon, and other fruits. So, regarding lycopene, among the natural carotenoids, it is the most potent antioxidant and free radical quencher. Free radical causes the oxidation of or lipid peroxidation. So, high lycopene consumption has been associated with a decreased risk of cardiovascular disease, including atherosclerosis, myocardial infarction, and stroke. Several studies have reported that serum lycopene levels are inversely related to lesions in the carotid artery as well as aorta. So, lycopene protects LDL from the oxidation. In addition to its antioxidant properties, lycopene has been proposed to reduce cholesterol levels by suppression of cholesterol synthesis, increase in LDL degradation, bad cholesterol degradation, and inhibition of HMG-CoA, as you know, that is hydroxyl methyl glutaryl coenzyme, a reductase enzyme, especially for cholesterol. A meta-analysis of intervention trials suggests that lycopene is effective in reducing total cholesterol and LDL cholesterol if taken in dosage higher than 25 milligram. About 100 milligram of tomatoes provide us with 0.8 to 7 milligram of lycopene. So lycopene also has significant effect in lowering blood pressure, particularly in the hypertensive subjects. So now after the carotenoids, next group of bioactive compounds we are going to see is polyphenols. Polyphenols are the compounds with phenolic structure and it contains several subgroups including flavonoids, phenolic acids, lignans, stilbenes, and more. They are the commonest constituents in the diet, as you can see here, and are present in the most foods and beverages of plant origin like coffee, tea, wine. So these are the core elements shown on the left side, that is flavonols, flavins. Flavins are anthocyanin, catechin, isoflavones, phenolic acids, resveratrol, and curcumin. These are the sources shown here of these core elements of polyphenol groups. First, we will see about the flavonoids. There are different type of flavonoids, that is anthocyanin, flavonols, flavonones, flavones, flavonols, and isoflavones. Anthocyanins are found from strawberry, red wine, and blueberries. Their therapeutic effects are they have endothelial dependent vasodilation, they reduce the risk of acute myocardial infarction. Flavonols are found in red wine. We know that red wine, we have so many times heard that red wine is very good for heart. So how it is good for the heart? What is the role? It is found in red wine, blueberries, apples, pears, chocolate, tea, cocoa, and grape. It reduces the systolic blood pressure. It has anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and anti-atherogenic action. Then there are flavonones, which are found from herbal tea or green tea, juice, fruit peels, and citrus fruits. They are antioxidant, they reduce blood pressure, they modulate nitric oxide. As we saw, the functional endothelium produces nitric oxide, which is vasodilator and antihypertensive. There is flavones, which are found from herbal tea, garlic, celery, chamomile tea, and green peppers. They lower blood pressure, improve vasodilation, induces vascular relaxation by same nitric oxide production. The next is flavonols, which are found from red wine, kale, broccoli, cherry, tomato, garlic, onions, tea, strawberries, beans, and spinach. They modulate the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, or ACE. They produce vasodilation, lowers blood pressure, decreases oxidative stress. So once if somebody will ask you that how the green tea works, and you can say that it lowers blood pressure, it decreases the oxidative stress. Okay. And the last is isoflavone in this group, that is found from peanuts, legumes, and soy products. It acts as the estrogen receptor agonist, diminishes oxidative stress, and mainly works as antihypertensive. So, in general, flavonoids reduce CVD risk, and the inverse correlation between flavonoid consumption and CVD risk is more pronounced in females than in males. So, for female patients of yours, for foods that or beverages that contain flavonoids. Regarding anti-atherosclerotic effect, we saw that the pathogenesis of atherosclerosis begins with the oxidative alteration of low-density lipoproteins by free radicals, that is lipid peroxidation, and the foam cells are formed. Foam cells develop when oxidatively modified LDL is rapidly absorbed through a scavenger receptor. These flavonoids act as antioxidant chain breaking. The capacity of quercetin and quercetin glycosides shield LDL from oxidative activation has very pronouncedly proved. Now, when we see about the anti-thrombogenic effects or platelet aggregation, it is critical in the composition of thrombotic disorders. Activated platelets bind to the vascular endothelium and develop lipid peroxides and oxygen-free radicals, which prevent the formation of prostacyclin and nitrous oxide in the endothelium. These prostacyclin and nitric oxide are beneficial, which is prevented. So flavonoids such as quercetin, camphorol, and myricetin shows the prevention of platelet adhesion or aggregation, and it reduces blood coagulation as well as increase the fibrinolysis. So it help in natural fibrinolysis. Flavonols are particularly antithrombotic because they scavenge free radicals, keeping endothelial prostacyclin and nitric oxide concentration constant. Regarding cardioprotective effects of flavonoids, they have an elevated inclination to transfer electrons, chelate ferrous ions, and shift reactive oxygen species. So, in a way, they prevent the oxidation of the lipids. So, flavonoids are potential protectors against the persistent cardiotoxicity triggered by cytotoxic medications such as doxorubicin. As a vasorelaxant agent, flavonoids help to reduce endothelial dysfunction by improving the vasorelaxation mechanism, which lowers arterial blood pressure. This is a crowded slide wherein cardiovascular risk factors, their pathophysiology, and how bioactive compounds affect these CVD risk factors has been shown. You can take a screenshot, but we are not going to uh, go in the detail of this slide. So the next component of polyphenols is anthocyanin. Anthocyanin is a pigment which is responsible for bright blue and purple color in the fruits or bright red colors in the fruits. So the best sources for anthocyanin are acai, blackcurrant, blueberry, pomegranate, cherry, red grapes, purple corn. If you can see cranberries, blueberries, okay, all type of berries, they are rich source of anthocyanin. So anthocyanin ubiquitously distributed are cyanidin, dalphinidin, patronidin, peonidin, pelargonidin, and malvinidin. The therapeutic effects of anthocyanin are they have anti-inflammatory properties, they are free radical scavenging, and they have antioxidant properties. We have heard that cocoa and dark chocolate is very good for heart health. So if somebody asks you that how this dark chocolate exert their effect, can you tell me about how this dark chocolate beneficial for heart? If somebody asks you the question, then now you can answer them that coca beans are rich source of dietary polyphenols. They have multiple polyphenols. They have catechins, anthocyanin. They are rich in proanthocyanin, and they have shown antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and anti-atherogenic activity. Coca polyphenol induce release of nitric oxide. You have to remember this nitric oxide. Whichever fruits or foods that release nitric oxide, that can be beneficial for the endothelial health, and that is antihypertensive, anti-inflammatory through activation of endothelial ano synthase, which in turn accounts for vasodilation and cardioprotective effects. Consumption of coca or dark chocolate has been associated with best flow mediated dilatation, and this effect seems to be mediated through the apicatechin content of the dark chocolate. Some studies have also demonstrated the platelet inhibitory effects from coca in healthy individuals, like in heart transplant patients. So consumption of coca and high polyphenol chocolates leads to an increase in HDL, while HDL is a good cholesterol, high density lipoprotein containing. So increase in HDL will be beneficial to heart, while coca and chocolate lowers LDL cholesterol levels. Inhibition of LDL oxidation is another effect of both coca and dark chocolate consumption. So the other element from the phenolic polyphenol group is phenolic acid. You are very well aware the best source for this phenolic acid, and that is green tea. Multiple times we have seen that green tea is advised to be very cardioprotective. So recent studies have revealed that green tea has positive biological activities against chronic diseases such as cancer, metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes mellitus, cardiovascular and neurodegenerative diseases, etc. They, these protective properties are related to the potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory activities of green tea, which is xanthic bases. They have caffeine and theophylline, the essential oils, minerals, and mostly to the catechins and other phenolic compounds in them. Some human intervention studies have showed that a moderate consumption of green tea, it should be 1 to 6 cups per day. So drinking only 1 cup green tea will not give you the full benefit. You have to drink about 5 to 6 cups of green tea to have these cardioprotective effects. It increases the total antioxidant capacity of the plasma. So the consumption of green tea has been associated with protection against stroke, hypertension, and atherosclerosis due to its antithrombotic and anti-inflammatory effects. Green tea consumption decreases the blood levels of total cholesterol through decreases intestinal absorption of LDL and LDL cholesterol and LDL oxidation. Furthermore, green tea consumption increases the HDL cholesterol or good cholesterol. Gallic acid present in the tea leaves can interact with the function of P-selectin and adhesin molecule, which are involved in the atherothrombosis, which mediates the interaction between leukocyte and the endothelium and platelets. So basically, it's anti-thrombotic effect. The oral intake of green tea extracts with high catechin content increases the resistance of plasma LDL cholesterol to oxidation. So, LDL cholesterol will not easily get oxidized and can exert their plaque formation effects. So, the next element in the polyphenol group is very important, and that is resveratrol. There are a number of reports describing the beneficial effects of resveratrol on improvement of heart dysfunction, heart failure, BP and myocardial hypertrophy based in its antioxidant, antihypertensive and coronary vasodilation activity. Resveratrol is basically a polyphenolic compound as we see from the polyphenolic group. The major dietary source of resveratrol include grapes, wine. That is why the red wine is very popular. Apples, peanuts and soy. It exerts multiple biological activities including anti-inflammatory, anti-proliferative and antioxidant effects. Resveratrol protects against drug-induced glutathione depletion and superoxide dismutase activity. These protect against drug-induced glutathione depletion. So basically, glutathione is antioxidant which should be preserved. So if any drug depletes the glutathione, resveratrol helps against it. It prevents collagen expression in cardiac fibroblasts, so fibrosis in cardiac muscle is prevented and protects against drug-induced cardiotoxicity. There was a meta-analysis of RCTs which included 247 subjects that showed high levels of resveratrol consumption significantly decreased the systolic but not the diastolic blood pressure. Resveratrol has significant effects on metabolic parameters. They can affect glucose level and waist circumference at a dose of more than 500 milligram and with long-term intervention for more than 10 weeks. Administering resveratrol can meaningfully reduce the body weight, waist circumference, triglyceride and glucose levels. Also, it can increase HDL but not the total cholesterol. These are all metabolic parameters. If they are improved, we can prevent the diabetes, hypertension, which are the major risk factors for the cardiovascular diseases. So the natural sources of resveratrol are here you can see they are grapes and grape products, wine, chocolate and cocoa products, raspberries, pistachio, blueberries and peanuts. This is the most familiar element in the polyphenol group and that is curcumin. We use daily in our kitchen. Curcumin or in the Latin word methane is a well-known dietary polyphenol which is found in turmeric, Curcuma longa of the ginger family. Curcumin has proven anti-inflammatory and bactericidal effects. How it uh, induces its anti-inflammatory effects? Curcumin alleviates drug-induced ischemic myocardial injury by increasing the level of SOD, that is superoxide dismutase, catalase, glutathione, as well as suppressing the production of TBRS and the leakage of LDS. This TBRS is thiobarbital activated reactive product and it is a indirect measurement of lipid peroxidation. So if the lipid peroxidation is prevented, it is helpful for the heart. Curcumin ameliorates myocardial ischemia or reperfusion injury by enhancing antioxidant activity and suppressing the apoptosis. It also alleviates myocardial ischemia or reperfusion injury by attenuating the inflammation. So basically, curcumin has anti-inflammatory effects. Patients with metabolic syndrome on curcuminoid treatment, that is 1 gram per day, present a reduced LDL cholesterol, total cholesterol, triglyceride, and LPA levels, as well as elevated HDL cholesterol concentrations. So, after looking about the carotenoids and polyphenol group, now we are seeing about the another bioactive compound group that is plant sterols. Plant sterols are also called as phytosterols or plant-derived fatty compounds. Phytosterols are integral component of plant cell membranes and are structurally similar to cholesterol. So phytosterols are extracted from vegetable oils such as corn seed, corn oil, rapeseed oil, soybean, and olive oil, either in the free forms or as fatty acid esters. They are also present in lower concentration in nuts, seeds, fruits, and vegetables. The most abundant plant sterols are cystosterol, campisterol, and stigmasterol. So, how these plant sterols work? How they help in lowering the cholesterol or LDL? They are very similar in their chemical structure with the cholesterol. So, plant sterol block cholesterol absorption by competing with the cholesterol. So instead of cholesterol absorption, the plant sterols are absorbed, and that is how they lower the cholesterol absorption. They increase cholesterol in feces and increase the synthesis of the hepatic receptors for apolipoprotein B and E, which leads to increased clearance of LDL cholesterol. So, if there are higher hepatic receptors for ApoB, the cholesterol will be cleared well, and especially the LDL cholesterol, and decrease plasma LDL concentration. These are the major sources of plant steroids, fats and oils, bread and cereals, fruits and vegetables, and nuts. But the most abundant source of plant sterols is very well known to us, and that is olive oil. So we have read multiple times that olive oil is very good for heart health. So, how it works? Many intervention studies have shown that a Mediterranean dietary pattern, why Mediterranean dietary pattern is cardioprotective? Because it is rich in these phytosterol, plant sterols, MUFA containing olive oil, because it includes extra virgin olive oil, is strongly associated with reduced risk of cardiovascular diseases. In long-term studies on subjects at high cardiovascular risk, supplementation of a Mediterranean diet with extra virgin olive oil reduces the blood pressure, both systolic as well as diastolic. Changes in glycemic and lipid profiles might have an effect on cardiovascular disease by promoting or aggravating the atherosclerotic process. So, Mediterranean diet, when it is supplemented with extra virgin olive oil, it shows beneficial effect on the postprandial metabolic profile. It decreases blood glucose, LDL cholesterol, and oxidized LDL, and increases insulin levels in healthy subjects too. So furthermore, 10 gram supplements of extra virgin olive oil, that is 2 teaspoon. 10-gram extra virgin olive oil is 2 teaspoon. It is able to improve the postprandial glycemic profile in patients with impaired fasting glucose, because diabetes is a major risk factor for cardiovascular diseases. The mechanism accounting for the positive effect of extra virgin olive oil are related to upregulation of incretins and reducing DPP4 activity, with consequent increase in GLP-1 concentration, which regulates postprandial glycemia by upregulating the insulin secretion and improving the glycemic control. So, in a nutshell, if we want to see that how these bioactive compounds or group of bioactive compounds work at different stages of plaque formation or different stages of pathophysiology of cardiovascular diseases, we can see if there is higher LDL, they exert the lipid lowering effect. In LDL modification or LDL oxidation, there is inhibition of LDL oxidation by the bioactive compounds. They have anti-inflammatory effects once the modified LDL is formed. The phagocytosis by macrophages of LDL is prevented by suppression of cholesterol accumulation. Again, there is when form cell is formed, there is again secretion of cholesterol accumulation by this bioactive compound. When atherosclerotic plaque is already developed, they have direct anti-atherosclerotic actions. And once the plaque is ruptured and thrombosis is formed and cardiovascular disease can take place, they exert antithrombotic actions. So at different stages, different bioactive compound groups and components are shown here. And on this side, the daily recommended doses for these bioactive compounds are shown. So for cardioprotective effects, we can take olive oil from 7.5 ml to 10 ml per day, that is 2 teaspoon per day. We need total 7.5 milligram of anthocyanins, that can be 30 or 60 grams of berries per day. Here, 118 ml to 236 ml per day red wine is shown at least 2 times per week. But those who are not already, if somebody is taking alcohol, they should be switched to the red wine and twice a week only. But if somebody is not taking alcohol, they should not be advised for to take alcohol. Rather, they can opt for another sources of bioactive compounds. If we talk about the chocolate, dark chocolate or cocoa products, it is dark chocolate, not all the chocolate. So if we talk about the chocolate or cocoa products, 20 to 30 grams per day should be taken. Regarding green tea, 3 to 5 cups can be beneficial. And regarding turmeric or curcumin, we can take zero point 0.5 to 2 grams per day. But I can say that it is not always any magical food or any one food that can give all the cardioprotective benefits. It should be integrated with the healthy lifestyle and it should be incorporated in our healthy dietary routine. So, the 10 ways to improve the overall heart health can be we should balance the calories eaten along with the physical activity. We should reach for variety of fruits and vegetables. We should wisely choose the whole grains rather than simple grains. We should include healthy protein sources, mostly plants and seafood, so we can get omega 3 too. We should use liquid non tropical plant oils. We should choose minimally processed foods. We should subtract the added sugars, cut down on salt, limit alcohol, and do all these whenever we eat. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot for delivering an exceptional session. Your extensive knowledge and insightful perspectives were truly remarkable. We are very captivated by the depth of information you have shared, and we are genuinely interested in continuing to learn from your expertise in the
So,
future.
once again,
On the behalf of UN Meta, I thank you from my heart.
cardiology.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Pinal. Apart from some few technical glitches, we are able to continue the session.